The cell ain't locked.
Mm.
But for whatever reason, bro, life puts us in situations, where we got every obstacle that's keeping us from the door. We got every obstacle keeping us from the door, Mark. We got one obstacle that's in front of us where we think that the shackle we got three shackles on, and we steady trying to pick this lock, and the lock and the shackles connected to a chain. The chain ain't even attached to nothing, but we steady trying to pick the lock. We steady
Yeah.
trying to pick the lock, bro. The door wide open, bro. We can just go touch the joint. Like they got a cardboard cutout of a gorilla. We think it's real. Like, bro, it's a lot going on, bro. But it's every excuse to keep us from going to that door. Every excuse to keep us from doing the things that we're supposed to do to get out of the situation that we're in.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast with an elephant is always welcome. It's me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're in here for another one.
Back again, Mark. How you doing, man? What's been going on with you, bro?
A little bit here and there. I found a guy on TikTok that's doing some Blender videos.
On
That's really
TikTok?
helping out. On TikTok, doing little shorts about how to, like, animate characters and whatnot. And I'm like, yo, thank you.
Bruh. I've been doing a little bit of research in that too. Like,
Hmm.
I've been saving a whole bunch of videos on YouTube on Blender tutorials and all that. Like, I have a whole folder dedicated to just nothing but Blender tutorials. And I've been doing a little bit of just looking into it here and there, man. And just got curious, right? I was like, yo, what does Pixar use to animate their videos? Apparently they use something called Maya or something. And
Okay.
and they created a in-house platform. Um I I can't think of what it's called at now. I just researched it last night. They made an in-house
Mm.
platform that they use for, like, solely Presto is the name of it. Um, they use that in-house to create all of their movies and their videos.
Okay.
Like, it's something that they built themselves to use. So got a little bit more research done up. Like, did you know that Toy Story 2 almost didn't happen?
Come on. Why?
Toy Story 2 almost didn't happen because they were developing the characters and all the scenes and everything,
Hmm.
and they got down to the final render of the movie.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna have to look this up again, man, because I need to see this full story. But this is just off of hearsay. Um, somebody put in the wrong command at the end, and it started deleting files one by one. So that joint
Oh.
started deleting characters, and they couldn't stop it, and they deleted the whole thing. So fortunately, there was a woman who was working on the project who was
Hmm.
out on maternity leave because she was about to have a baby, who had a copy of the files from 2 weeks earlier.
Okay.
So they ended up contacting her, and she was like, "Yeah, come get this one." And they ended up making the movie. So that was the mysterious reason as to why Toy Story 2 got pushed back during that year when it was coming out.
Come on.
Because I do remember it being pushed back.
That's crazy. Oh man, gotta be careful what you're doing, especially with technology. Like, uh, and
I'm
I'm
just
pretty sure. back then, they didn't have the the Control Z boy. So you
Nah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Control Z has always been a thing. I
I
just don't
really
know if it applies to coding.
that's true.
Like Control Z isn't just part of your regular GUI. Like I mean, like the code and the stuff that they're doing ain't part of your regular GUI. So they like you can copy paste Control Z on that stuff like that. I don't even think it applies for real. Because
Mm.
like most of the time you put in a command, the changes have already been made. Um, we nerding out too much.
All right. So we're gonna get into a boss of false, which is still kind of also nerdy. All right. So do you think it's a boss move or a false move? And it's probably new news to you, or
Are
I
we?
don't know if
Is
it's
there a story attached? Where we doing this backwards again?
oh really. All right. So Power Rangers, the US version of Power Rangers, all their fight scenes are not in-house. They come from another uh show called Super Sentai over in Japan. False to false. It's like you can copy the homework, but you
No,
gotta put your own
no,
name on it. Change it a little bit so the teacher don't get us.
no, bruh. That
Yeah.
is no, no. So wait, Power Rangers don't exist in Japan?
Not that title. No, that not that name.
So Super Sentai is the name of Power Rangers in Japan.
Yes.
So Super Sentai has been the thing for forever,
Long time.
long,
Yes.
long time. All right. Probably longer than Power Rangers if I'm imagining correctly. I would assume that it's been out longer than Power Rangers. All right. Um, why?
I'm not sure. And it's like, I mean, the Power Rangers, it's not like the Power Rangers company, like it's like broke or something like that. But
Right,
like
like Saban can definitely scratch up some pennies to choreograph a fight scene. Like everybody else doing it. Like I mean,
I mean, if it's
hold up.
not broke,
No. I got some follow up questions. So who makes Super Sentai? This is the same company.
that make Power Rangers or
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. But I went on YouTube and I seen a video of like all their intros for Super Sentai and everything connecting. And it's like they really just like took clips here and there, even from the intros, and was like, all right, here's Power Rangers, different theme song, different plot line, Power Rangers, boom. We're gonna get
Wow.
some random teenagers to play these characters we get.
Wow.
My
I
camera
am
is just
so flabbergasted. My whole life, I feel like my whole life just shattered in front of me right now, just now. Like,
like
um, I don't know. I'm gonna say like for real, if it's the same company that makes it,
Mhm.
then I say boss move. But if like a whole different company out here making Super Sentai, and they were just like, all right, you guys can have a license to this concept, and you
Mhm.
can go ahead and make it in in the America.
Right.
That you just like straight snatch you snatch the fight scenes up, and I mean like it saves you money because
Mhm.
it's a lot of money to choreograph something in general. Like I'm thinking of like dance scenes or like people they had to bring in like outside like resources to teach people how to dance and all that other stuff like that. Like I'm
Mhm.
thinking about those things on that measure. Stunt doubles, all that kind of stuff. Um, Now you got to pay somebody to wear a putty costume, so that's another thing right there. I don't think we're gonna do that more than once. So if it's the same company, I say it's a boss move, but if Bandai don't make Super Sentai, then I'm gonna say false, bro. Because I get it. Like you don't want to recreate the wheel. I think it's actually pretty cool in my opinion. Like for you to just be like, all right, we made that shit once. I ain't doing that again.
Fact. You get two storylines off one main storyline. It's pretty interesting once you think about it. Cause like how they get it to match up, that ain't an easy feat in itself. To come up with something totally different from like what's already, plastered, what's already set in stone.
Wow. All right. Apparently the company who owns Super Sentai, I had to look it up.
Mhm.
The company that owns Super Sentai is the same company that owns Dragon Ball Z, Toei Company Ltd.
Okay.
So Bandai does not, I repeat, Bandai does not own Super Sentai. False move.
But all right, from how does that work from like a legal standpoint? Like how is that okay?
The mechanical license.
Uh,
We're gonna give you the license to take this work and Americanize it for your people. Because obviously, if we put this over here, then we said Super Sentai, like bro, for real, like Super Sentai. You say that name, it don't even roll off the tongue in American.
Nah.
So Americans ain't watching that shit. Kids like my kid, like adults like my kid watching some show called Super Sentai. Fuck this shit. He's not watching that. I love Power Rangers, by the way. Like I was just telling Dennis the other day, like I want to start collecting all of the Power Ranger Megazords from back in the day. Because I used to have them things growing up, man. Like and like those were the most memorable toys that I've ever had in my life, other than that Megatron that I had when he was a tank and a T-Rex at the same time, and I didn't know how to transform that motherfucker.
Yeah.
That motherfucker looked like a jungle gym the whole time I had him.
Come on. Yep. There's actually a guy on TikTok that he does like I want to say collectible ones. No. Because I think he gets them from, I don't know if it's the same guy. He does Transformers and I think the Power Ranger Megazords. He had one that it didn't even make it to the TV show. They just made it kind of just like in hopes I guess it would make it, but it never aired, or the episode for that one never aired or something like that. It was like a Megazord of a alligator or something.
What the fuck?
And then he would do the Transformers for Beast Wars. Not a lot of people know about Beast Wars.
Right.
Only reason I know is because of my older brother. So shout out.
The motherfuckers don't remember that Optimus Prime used to be a gorilla.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a fire truck first, but they tried the gorilla thing, and
That's wild.
Beast Wars and Beast Machines used to come on every morning on Fox Kids, right after Magic School Bus. And I used to be pissed because Beast Machines would come on, and it used to be such an interesting show, but my bus would come right in the middle of that bitch.
Oh, man.
Right in the middle of that bitch.
Agony.
I could never watch a full episode. Have no idea how they ended that. I mean, I guess I do know how they ended it. They turned Optimus Prime into a fire truck again.
Not to get too far off, but I think that one of the newer Transformers, they were doing I don't know if it was a crossover episode or it was an actual show where they meet something happens, somebody opens a wormhole, Gorilla Optimus meets New Optimus, and like I don't think they make the connection right away. They end up like fighting for a good little minute, and I don't know if they ever be like, "Hey, we're the same people. Stop."
He got the same voice.
I don't know because I don't know if Beast Wars Optimus has been. I don't know if that's the same voice actor, so I don't know. I don't know if they got a new one or they did. I don't know how they did that.
Has the same guy been voicing Optimus Prime since the TV show came out?
Ooh.
Like for the movies and everything?
I don't know about for the movies. I know usually for like the animated series.
Bro, I swear he sound the same on everything.
He do. If it is the same guy, kudos to him because he did
right. He making money.
Yeah,
he making money. That company paying him. Oh, same company.
Come on, what?
Saban owns Transformers, I believe.
Let's go. But it's
I might
it's
be wrong
crazy
about
how you do a job so well that you make
Hasbro.
Hasbro.
Hasbro owns Transformers. My bad.
That does sound bad. Yeah. Anyway, you do a job so well that like your whatever, your product, your end product lasts like a lifetime. Like people come to you and it's like they don't really know you for anything else but that. How does that make you feel? Yeah, I know you're trying to like,
people not knowing you for anything but the one thing that you are so competent in doing. I feel like that's some bullshit, bro. Like there's like it shows that you, in a way, and I know there's a big stigma on saying that you made it. Like not everybody can just say I've made it. Like it's not like something that you got to be careful when you say that. But I feel like if you're known for doing what you're doing, and this don't apply to work. Like I'm just gonna say that this don't apply to work because like for real, like anybody can do your job when you at work. Like they can train somebody in 20 minutes and you like your job is up for grabs in the snap of a finger. But like say you somebody who you go to work and you sell like muffins. And everybody know you for making muffins. And so anytime somebody need a muffin or a cupcake, they come to you because you the expert. Like, bro, like for real. In my mind right now, when you say bacon, I need a pastry and I need a good pastry chef, I'm thinking about Nikki. I don't think about nobody else, bro. I don't think about nobody else. I'm thinking about Nikki. So I like it, to be that proficient in what you're doing, to be associated with your like for a certain item to be associated with your name. That's brand recognition, and that's what you should be striving for. If you do something and you do it well, you should want to dominate the space. So that's how I feel about that.
Okay. And how would you say when like a person dominate his or her space? Like should it be something where it's like multiple things at one time, or should they like kind of focus on one thing, perfect it?
One thing, bro.
One thing.
One thing. And we talked about it on this podcast before, like people with that multitasking mentality. Are you thinking that you're just going to do a whole bunch of things? We call it the jack of all trades. You think you're just going to do a whole bunch of things and you're going to do them average. Well, the thing is, like by default, you can only give one thing a certain amount of time. So if you got that same amount of time, like you only got 86,400 seconds and every single day. If you're dividing that focus between a whole bunch of different things, you're giving 20% to let's say acting, and you're giving another 20% to poetry. You're giving 30% to like some cooking or something. You giving another 20% to YouTube. So you got four things that that you not even they're not even balanced. So you say you want to act, but then we put you next to the person who puts his 100% into acting. Who you think we picking for the role? The person who put his 100% into the acting, or the person who put 20% into acting, but at least he a good poet? Just saying, bro. It don't make sense. But like one thing is what you should stick to. One thing. That's it. That's all you need is one thing. That's why I stopped doing all the other shit that I was doing, bro.
All right. So, yeah. So with that, like, how does one like shift through the clutter? Get into that mode of, all right, it's time to focus. It's time to adapt. It's time to cut out the fat.
Cut out the fat. I like the way you put that.
I'm trying to, make this steak, this beautiful product, this beautiful whatever. I need to get out of my comfort zone, get out of my normal day-to-day living, and focus on my main goal and give it 100%. I need to shift through all the BS I got going on, whatever that's hindering me from doing that. Like, how does one completely make that shift?
All right, so you know what I love about success? That for some reason, no matter how many times you switch the situation or switch the topic up, the process never changes. Like, because regardless, like I don't know how you gonna do it. I don't know how you gonna perform the task, but you got to put 10,000 hours into something in order to become a professional. So I don't know how you gonna get that done, but you got 86,400 seconds in every single day. You're gonna have to get to it in some way or another. So whatever reconstructions you need to do to your life to make it happen, it just got to be done. Like, some people monopolize, like most people, I ain't gonna say some people, most people monopolize their time on things that have nothing to do with their goals. So when they spend time working on their goals, they feel this wave of disparity because they feel like they could have did more, or they feel like they should have did more, or they should be further, but they're not looking at the amount of time that they're investing into something or investing into learning something. They're only looking at the fact that they did it. Because you're looking at the fact that I felt this pain on this day, I felt this pain on this day, I felt this pain on this day, but you did it like 20 minutes on each day. But you're looking at you're comparing the fact that you did it to the fact that to somebody who's spending 100 hours on it. If that make any sense. So you got to get to a point where you shift your focus to say, if I got to spend 10,000 hours on doing this, here's hour number one. And you got to be mindful of the things you do in the day, because the richest man in the world get the same amount of time as you, but he ain't spending it the same as you. Alyssa and I was having a conversation this week, And she was like, "Yo, I think we get out of bed too late." I was like, "We get up, we get up at 5. Like, yeah, we wake up at 4. All right, we get up at 5, and we in the office for the rest of the day. Like, you want to get up earlier? Like, what?" but but she wants to spend more time with her craft.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And well, first of all, you peaking a little bit with your S's.
S is always peak, bro. Ain't nothing I can
Okay.
do about that.
All right, cool. Um, I know that shift is very hard because like we're not really taught that shift.
Mm-mm.
When we're learning something, especially in the school system, it's only all right, learn it enough until you got it down to regurgitate it later. And then after that, it it's almost lost. Like if you don't put in, if it's not connecting with you, like it's gonna be lost. Like over
Right,
time, it's just gonna fade away into, the back of your memory. If you
right,
can recall it, kudos to you. But other than that, you know, it's gonna be foreign learning something in a like entrepreneur field because like we said, it's not taught in school. The only thing they teach you in school is how to run a business, how to basically uh run something for someone else.
right.
Uh and like when you're trying to run something for yourself, you kind of have to be the grunt worker, the CEO, and the manager all at the
All
same
that.
time. And it will get frustrating, but like you like Aaron said, you gotta start with hour one, put in the time, get in the trenches, go the mile, and just do it. Uh you, and like once you start, you're gonna have to be that like a revolving door. You constantly have to be moving, constantly have to be like evolving into, you know, something greater. You have to be better than you were yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Cause your start should look way different at your mid and end goal.
Right.
So you have to be that adaptive person to kind of evolve with the times, evolve with the changes in you're learning. Uh, because I'm pretty sure what book one looks
A
a
lot
lot
different.
different,
A
a lot
lot
different than book
different,
2 and 3, right?
bruh. It is not even the same platform. It's like PS1 and PS5 right now.
Come on,
Yeah,
let's
bruh.
go. Yep. So you got to be that adaptive person. Like once you learn something new, all right, apply it, understand it, and keep on moving to the next one. So your your first book or your first whatever, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it might look like the PS1 console graphics, but by the end of it, it should be looking like some 8K stuff. We ain't even
Mm-hmm.
seen 8K.
Yeah. But like to add to that, like start on hour one
Mm-hmm.
and do what you need to do in your hour one. And Marcus just said you got to be everything when you're an entrepreneur. Like
Mm-hmm.
no entrepreneur comes into the game like, yo, I like I could just automatically go ahead and start outsourcing my stuff. Like most of the time, you're going to be doing all of it, like every single bit of it. You'll be doing all of it, and it's not a matter of cutting corners. Like you can't cut corners when it's things that you still had to do. Like I hate marketing the book,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized that when I'm marketing the book, it's hard for me to focus on writing. Like I don't have that in me to multitask in that direction. Like there are two opposite ends of the spectrum. Like either you're marketing or you're writing. Like I can't do both. And I think it's because I got a job. I work 40 hours a week. If I could spend 20 hours on just marketing the book alone in a week and spend the rest of it writing, I feel like that'll be an ideal situation. But right now I don't have that luxury to do so. But eventually, at some point, when you start to grow, when you start to learn a little bit more about what you're doing, you're going to have to outsource. You're going to have to outsource. ET, his right hand man, CJ, said that the reason why ET is so big and so successful at what he's doing is because it's all he do. He said, I had to. It was my job as CEO of ETA to figure out how to let him keep making juice. So ET, he's good at speaking. He's good at speaking. ET is not good at details. ET ain't good at making lists. He's not good at making appointments and all these other things and following up and all that other stuff like that. He ain't good at none of that. So I had to figure out how to put myself in a position to take care of all of that stuff, or get people who are good at those things and get them to take care of it. That way, ET ain't never got to bother with the details. He could just keep making juice. He could just stay in the kitchen and keep whipping up the juice. So at some point, and I know we got a lot of multitaskers that listen to this. So like half of y'all probably listening to this. You probably listening to this and doing something else right now. You ain't taking notes or nothing. You just like, you got this joint up, you got it planned, and you probably at work or something, like, or driving or something, like whatever. Like, you got a lot of multitaskers listening to this right now. But I just want y'all to understand that multitasking comes with a risk. And if you're going to multitask, you're going to have to do it for a short period of time. You got to get somebody else to work on that. Now, learning how to do it, that's fine and dandy. Like me learning how to market, I got to market until somebody comes along and take over this thing for me, bro. Like I gotta be faithful enough to few to understand that I'm doing this now, but one day, just one day, if I do it right, I can keep making juice, and I can do nothing else but make juice.
Yep. So, what could we say to encourage people to focus on making the juice until they meet that person or that team of individuals that can help them do that? Keep working on the craft until they come, or like do the multitasking and look for those people, because we've had an episode of talking about that. Look, should we be going out looking for the people to help us, or should we just throw ourselves into the work and let those people come to us?
I still full-heartedly believe that there should be no time where you're actively looking for a team. Okay. Like I still feel like the greatest connections that I've made was just me. Like I'm not like going out actively doing it, but if I find somebody that know how to do it, I ask a question. Like I'm just being real. Like, yo, like it like networking stuff, like not networking, but marketing stuff. Like I just go ask somebody a question. One day I'm gonna come across the right person, ask them the right question, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, what you got going on? Show me what you got. Hey, you need some help with this? Let me help you." All right, cool. Or put an ad out there on Facebook saying that the Aether Universe needs people dedicated to the story that want to market it or draw for it, or things like that, and eventually we'll come across the right person. It is what it is. But in the meantime, I got to keep making juice.
Okay.
I can only do what I can do. And right now, what I'm doing is going to have to be enough. Because if I take my focus off, and I'll give you a perfect example. The Aether Universe right now is lacking artwork. Just being 100% honest, The eighth universe right now is lacking artwork. And my ass do not have the patience to draw. But it didn't stop me from trying. I even bought a drawing tablet to start that process. But because I don't put 100% into drawing, it didn't work out. So I could, at this point, put 50% of effort, or, it can't even be 50% effort. Or, it can. So I could put 50% effort into writing my books, 20% effort into marketing the books, and 30% effort into drawing the books. But that's not a formula for success.
Okay. So basically, we should put in 100% and whatever we're trying to do, and let it be one thing, 100% in one thing, to get to a point where we basically master that.
Yeah.
And usually once you got, a product that's like just so great, like you kind of get people wanting to help you. Like with our friend Mr. Dramatic, like he does amazing artwork, and we're just like, yo, why aren't you doing this, that, and the third? And he's just like, he ain't really got it like that. He doesn't. Not trying to talk down about him, but like he needs help in certain areas. Point blank and simple.
That's real. That's real. He put 100% in the drawing. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
And it's not that he's coming up short. It's just he needs help, and XYZ. And we just happen to be those people that we want to help. We want to see him succeed in XYZ. And like that's the formula right there. Do master your craft to the point where people are like not really begging, but like just there. They just want to help you. They want to see your artwork.
That's a good example.
The big screen, selling out at cons, on the shelves at your local Walmart and everything. Like do that. Like get to a point where people want to see you succeed. And starting out, it's gonna be rough. A lot of people, they're gonna be like, all right, he's just some amateur that wants to make it big, wants to be the next such and such. But don't let that stop you. Don't let that cloud your judgment into, I am just starting out. I am an amateur. But my first hour is gonna look a lot different from my 1,000 hour, my 10,000th hour. So keep on pushing. Don't let nothing stop you. Yeah, something.
Nah, you good. I love how you use that example. That how do we get to that point? We started off this conversation talking about the clutter of the mindset, and I just recently felt this with a situation that I went through. Like Tuesday, I went to the real estate meeting, and they went around the room and getting people to introduce themselves to the crowd. Man, I'm like, yo, I'm a blue collar guy looking to break into the real estate world. That's why I'm here. I'm here for the knowledge, and I'm here for growth, and to hear people who've already done it teach me some things, teach me a thing or two. And when I said that, I realized, like, yo, it's the blue collar thing is literally a shackle. So some of y'all got shackles and don't even know they shackles. Some of y'all doing things and it's keeping you from doing more or doing the things that you're supposed to do. It's almost like a guy who brag about being 60 days sober, hanging out at a bar with his friends every night. Like, it makes no sense. And what I was thinking about, I was like, yo, I need to do something to counteract the shackle because I don't got the key yet. Like, I'm still forging the key. I'm still trying to pick the lock. So I'm like, yo, I need to figure out how to get myself into a mindset where I can defeat the shackle. And some of y'all need to do that same thing because you got things going on. You got things going on in your life that are preventing you from making that move and doing it correctly. And instead of you going into instead of you asking the question, you're avoiding it. And what are those questions? Is this right? Just anything. Just pick any situation in your life, any relationship, any place that you find yourself in, any moment in time that you live. Is this right? Is this the right thing? Because what's going to happen is that those wrong things are going to cloud your judgment, and they're going to make the right thing look like the wrong thing.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay. I kind of want to change that narrative a little bit. You said the thing about the shackles. I forget who said it. It was on like a commercial, I want to say, and they would run this commercial like all the time, and it was talking about how I think it was about overthinking or anxiety or something. It's kind of like being in a cell in your mind that you created. You created the cell, you put yourself in the cell, and the door's unlocked. But because you're so in that mindset that you never go to the door and open it and just you never ask those questions. You never
I love that.
Just because oh my Jesus. Like we have Google, we have all these means of information, and it's not like it's impossible to grasp. It's not like it's out of our reach. It's there literally at our fingertips nowadays. And it's just financial freedom. If you want it, research it, put 100% in it, and you got it. It's literally research, understanding, apply it,
execution,
you got it. It's there. And it's just we get so tied up with depression, anxiety, thinking we can't do it before we even start it, and it's just detrimental. And we continue that cycle from generation to generation, and it's literally up to you to break it.
And it's in our vocabulary, bro. It's in our vocabulary, bro. Like, yo, for real, people don't even say that they're going to do things anymore. You realize that nobody is saying that, yo, we're going to do stuff. It's all try now. Everything is about try. So you don't even go into the situation with the mentality of I'm doing this. Like you're telling yourself that you're not going to do it when you're talking to somebody like me and you say, yeah, I'm going to try to do XYZ. Nah, you're not. Why are we even having this conversation if you're just gonna try to do it? Like, what are we even talking about? And I've been calling people out on it recently, bro. I'm like, yo, you gonna try or you gonna actually do it? Like, because those are two different things. I'm just being real with you. Like, just want you to know that your vocabulary is already saying that you're defeated, and you ain't even started yet, bro. You ain't even touched it yet. You already defeated yourself. And oh man, I love what you just said about the cell ain't open, bro. I mean, the cell ain't locked. But for whatever reason, bro, life puts us in situations, where we got every obstacle that's keeping us from the door.
Mm-hmm.
We got every obstacle keeping us from the door, Mark. We got one obstacle that's in front of us where we think that the shackle we got three shackles on, and we steady trying to pick this lock, and the lock and the shackles connected to a chain. The chain ain't even attached to nothing, but we steady trying to pick the lock. We steady trying to pick the lock, bro. The door wide open, bro. We could just go touch the joint. Like they got a cardboard cutout of a gorilla. We think is real. Like, bro, it's a lot going on, bro. But it's everything, every excuse to keep us from going to that door. Every excuse to keep us from doing the things that we're supposed to do to get out of the situation that we're in. And we make up every excuse, bro. I did it with my last relationship, bro. I ended up in that relationship way longer than I should have, bro. And I thought I thought I was doing the right thing based off of the information that I had, based off of the information that I grew up with, the things that I wanted. I thought I was doing the right thing. But bro, I ended up staying in that relationship way longer than I should have. Because I'm looking at her family like a shackle. I'm looking at her daughter like a shackle. I'm looking at the fact that, I married this bride, so I can't necessarily leave her. And no, I'm not trying to big up divorce or anything like that. But I was in a situation that was holding me back, and there was nobody in that situation. Like, he needs help. Let's help him. There was nobody in that situation looking at me as somebody that needed to be helped. So I had to ignore the shackles. I'm like, I'm going to walk this way. If they fall off, they fall off. And they fell off. I mean, inevitably they fell off. They couldn't keep up.
Of course.
The problems, like, all right, and what I want to say is I'm going to leave it right at this, right? In most cases, you got to do a lot to get to your destination. And what we mean by the destination right now, we're talking about the door that's going to take you into the next realm and the next world of possibilities that is going to propel you into your next phase. So it's going to be your level up. So it's going to take a lot to get there. It's going to take a lot to move forward. There's going to be a lot of information that you're going to have to digest. There's going to be a lot of changes you're going to have to make. And once you start moving towards that door, those imaginary problems that you created for yourself, they're either going to change up or they're going to fall off. And I'm going to leave it at that. Because you got shackles, and your shackles are your problems. But they only problems because you made them your problem.
And what that looks like going towards that door is kind of like the whole process is kind of like pulling back on an arrow that's attached to a bow. You have a bow and arrow, you're pulling back, you're kind of you're looking at your past, and you're learning, all right, I have this problem because of how I was raised or my environment. Like you said, that you were in that relationship because that's what you knew. That's what you grew up on. That was your normal. But it's like you got to look back on that and understand that that's not you. You're a totally different person now. To move forward, you have to be a totally different person. Where you want to be to have that freedom, you have to be a totally different person. So you have to look back on that and understand that and put the things in place to propel you forward to make it to that door. And
all right,
that
so
looks,
I throw a monkey wrench in that real quick? Because I hear what you're saying and I completely agree. But I don't want people thinking that getting to the door is the hardest part, bro.
Oh, no.
Like, getting the shackles to fall off is the hardest. And y'all heard Mark just say, like, you got to go back into your past. Like, and most people don't even want to do that. So when you pull that bow back, when you're moving backwards, you're looking at all those things that's in your past. That's what you were trying to portray, right? Like when you get pulled back, you gotta see all of the stuff that's happening. Like most people, like they shooting for the door, but they just trying to they trying to they trying to pull a joint back with two fingers. They don't want to go back too far because they scared of what they might see because they haven't addressed it yet, bro. And they can't get the shackles to fall off that way, bro. So you trying to drag these heavy chains and try to go to the door, and you just swept this problem under the rug so much now that it became spikes on the floor. So every time you try to pull your chain get caught on all these spikes, bro, and like they could fall off. You don't even understand that you could take them off at any given time, but your problems are so deep and so deeply enrooted that you can't even understand that all you had to do was go back to your past and do a little bit of digging, figure out why you're like this, and just resolve it. And it sounds, I know it sounds crazy. It sounds overly simple, but it's literally just that, bro. I had to realize that I had a codependency issue. My childhood created a codependency issue in me, and that is the reason why I stayed in that relationship so as long as I did. And it was just that simple. I was like, oh, that's it? I read a book on codependency. I was like, oh, fuck. It had absolutely nothing to do with my goal as a writer. I don't think y'all understand that. Y'all looking, you trying to ignore your fucked up mindset to focus on your goals. My codependency issue had absolutely nothing to do with the Aether universe. Nothing. But I had to go back and do a little bit of digging to understand why there was a shackle on me that I couldn't get off.
And just to give a prime example of like the possibilities of, you know, getting the shackles off and making it to that door. I seen a post just this morning about Robert Downey Jr. On the
Perfect candidate.
On the left side is a picture of him. I forget what he did. He's in court. He got the whole jumpsuit on. And on the right side, it's him. Avengers logo in the background. Tony Stark. He's so popular, and not even just in the Avengers. He's in movies now that basically make his past look like, oh, that was him. Nah, that ain't wrong.
Oh man, that's hilarious that you said that, bro. Because like I don't know if you ever watched Last Man Standing with Tim Allen. Like me and Alyssa, we just we started watching Last Man Standing. We love that show, man. You know, typical Tim Allen sitcom. Funny as hell. Dude's playing a Republican that's always wanted a son, but never really got a son. He ended up having 3 daughters, so he's like, this is like literally the last man standing in the house. So, like we watched this show, and this show became so popular, right, during the time that it aired, and Alyssa and I were just like kind of like looking at his track record or whatever, and realized that my man went to jail before, bro. Like my man was locked up for possession and the intent to distribute. Yeah, like he like for cocaine too. Like it won't even weed. Like he like back in the 80s, my man got arrested for possession of cocaine and went to jail. And nobody even knows it, bro.
Dang. All right. Ooh, that's the big boy drug. That's
right. Especially back in the 80s, bro. So somebody told you that Buzz Lightyear was selling cocaine and he broke away from his shackles. And you thought it was gonna be easy. Sorry.
And I'm pretty sure without a doubt. Now it might they might think about it here and there maybe, but I'm pretty sure once they made it through that door, once they got on the other side of their possibilities, they probably have not looked back. They be like, drugs, what is that?
It's like I did that, but that made me. Like that's what made that situation made the character I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Failure makes character.
Yep.
And you're going to fail. But speaking of examples, like is there like a particular reason you chose this topic?
Not exactly. Well, it was just like we hold on to a lot. I know I hold on to a lot. And it's just like it's hard to explain it because it's like you never know truly when to let something go or like just make the change. Well, I can't say you never know. You know, but it's like you don't want to.
Yeah.
You kind of just shove that feeling aside to either please somebody else or make something more comfortable for yourself. When in all reality you got to be okay with being uncomfortable, making that change. If it's moving something out of your life, moving something into your life, make that drastic change to where, like we said, you can put 100% into your craft. If it's quitting a job, ending a relationship, starting a relationship, getting help in whatever field you need help in, or learning something new, just getting rid of old to make way for something new. There was I think it was a preacher who said this, but like we always thank God for our blessings. He blessed me with like a new car or something, or something mundane like that. But we all know that cars don't last forever. So instead of us using that car to go from coast to coast, we should have been using that car for what it was intended for. It was blessed to us for getting us to point A to point B, getting enough money to fix or get a new better car when that one kicks the bucket.
I want to go back to before we get like off too far off topic, like you just said something that I wanted to talk about. And I want to address the win.
The win, okay.
Of when to let go. Because you said something and I just wanted to like, there's a lot of people who's sitting right there. It's like, I don't know how or when to let this one thing go. And usually in the biggest problem that most people have is like that one thing that they had to let go is usually a person. And then you have these preconceived notions and these preconceived thoughts of what's going to happen, of how things are going to happen when you come to a situation. And I have like examples of both of those things when it comes to ending my marriage and meeting Alyssa, because there was clutter of what happened to me in my past when I met her that almost dictated me not being in a relationship with her. And she felt the same way because it was like things that she went through, her off and off relationship that we talked about on a previous episode. Still a good joke. I thought it was funny. But anyway, her relationship that she had, and like these weren't short relationships. They were pretty long. So like as it pertains to the people in your life that you want to cut off. Like, all right, so most people, whether it's family or friends or their significant other, they get to this point where they hold off on the truth. And they don't want to accept the truth. It's like, what is the truth? I don't know what that truth is to you, but you just looking at it and smacking you in the face every single day. You thinking about it all the time, and every time you try to talk about it with your significant other, they don't want to talk about it. They're unresponsive. It turns into a heated debate. Yeah, tried therapy, whatever the case is, and you just can't get through. You can't get through it. Like whatever the case is, like I don't know what it is in your household, but you just can't get through it. And a lot of people go through that. Like, bro, I didn't realize that a lot of people went through it until I went through it, and it was debilitating. It felt like Henry was stepping on your chest. Like the weight of the elephant was crushing you. Like you were drowning. And whatever reason, you and this person, y'all can't talk through it. Y'all can't work it out. There is no reconciliation. It's like either we sweep it under the rug or we just don't even talk about it, or we like you're going to move forward, or you just going to take it as it is. I don't care what you want to do with it, but we ain't talking about that. And this truth is staring you in the face. There is no communication about the truth. They don't want to talk about the truth. You want to talk about the truth, but for whatever reason, they ain't having it. That would be one of those, like me personally, that would be one of those things I'm gonna have to be like, look, you a shackle. I'm walking this way. Either you gonna come or I'm gonna have to take you off. Straight up. I'm walking this way, and if you ain't coming with me, then I'm gonna have to take the shackle off. That being said, like, you know what? Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead. You wanted to jump in, so I just.
It's a topic like this and situations like that it's a really big elephant because a lot of people they have this mindset where they want to be the nice person, they want to be the glue in certain situations and keep things together. And some people, they're just like, they don't, I'm not gonna say believe in that, like that. It's like, especially with relationships or friendships, it's like a moral code or something that, because for some reason humans, they have to be connected with people, they have to have connections with people.
It's our stupid ass brains.
And it's like cutting that off, like I said, trimming the fat. It comes a lot easier to some people than others. Some people, they just have to have that, like you said, it's a codependency. I'm not gonna say it's a disease, but it's almost like a mechanism that it's just in the brain. Like it's there, and it's like deeply rooted there.
It's taught.
It's taught. You think it's taught?
It was taught to me.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. I'd say for a good portion of your life, you're dependent on, a parent or, somebody for guidance. And it's so weird how in different countries it's totally different. Somewhere in Korea, they have this the school, but I think it's like their equivalent to pre-K or Head Start or whatever, where they give the kids free roam. It's a little park, it's, of course, it's gated or whatever, but it's like they get their freedom to make their own decisions. I mean, of course, there's a adult there to do whatever, basically regulate if someone gets hurt or whatnot. But they have that freedom to learn and, kind of teach themselves a little bit. And just looking at how we were brought up and all this other stuff, it's just like from day one, or at least from Head Start on up, we're taught to follow rules. Someone has guided us. There's been a
Bro,
authority figure in our life all the way up to.
I don't think you understand, bro. I was taught that shit at the house. I don't think
Well,
you understand. Like on a malicious level, Mark. I was
come
taught it
on.
at the house, bro. And that's why it was so deep to me when
Mhm.
I figured it out, bro. Because when I figured it out, bro, I just got pissed.
Mm.
Like when I look back and I realized what was going on, bro. Because like the finding out that, like, getting to the bottom of it
Mm.
made some things stand out that shouldn't have happened to me in my childhood, bro. Like some conversations that stuck with me for life.
Mm.
They were talked about in this book, bro. And it was like textbook. I was like, come on, bro. Like, really?
Like,
And like,
mm.
I was pissed, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, for real? Like, you tried to put me in that kind of mindset. Like, yo,
Mm.
how dare you try to lock me up like that? How dare you? So, like, mm, I mean, that's a different episode right there. I ain't
Mm.
even gonna go into that, bro. But um, like, and this could be like mother child, like parent child relationship,
Mm.
whatever the case is, like brother sister, whatever. I don't like any relationship, bro. Like you got that sense of like, yo, I probably need to step away from this.
Mm.
Like there's always like if you start feeling that, man, like that, you gotta listen to your gut. It's like, first
Yeah.
of all, you and what you're doing is like, and that's the reason why I said, bro, you gotta fight with it. You gotta fight with it. You had to have that conversation. Whatever the problem is, you had to have that conversation. You can't let that thing sit. You can't let it fester. Because what's going to happen is you're going to start creating that. You're going to start creating the the
Doubt.
the huh?
The doubt.
You, yeah, there's doubt. You're going to start creating resentment. And once you start creating resentment, there's usually no turning back from that.
Mm.
I don't care how small it is or how insignificant you think it is. Once you start creating resentment in your mind for somebody, it's really hard to turn back. You start automatically losing trust. You start automatically losing faith that this person has your best interests at heart. You start automatically you start automatically doubting yourself, like Marcus said. You start doubting them, and you start doubting the future.
Mm.
So with that being said, like if you're holding on to that, you're only digging your own grave. And like I said, I am not the advocator for divorce or anything like that. But if you like, yo, both of y'all got to fight. Both of you on and that's the reason why I love Alyssa so much, because I've never been in a situation, I've never been with a person who sits back and actually listens to what I'm trying to say. Like somebody who doesn't just straight up just be like, all right, we ain't doing that. I hear what you're saying, but fuck your feelings. I'm just being real. Like my like the last joint was just like, fuck that. We ain't doing that. All right. Hey, can we talk about nope? I don't want to talk about that. Or they turn it back on you. Also your sign.
Ooh.
We can talk about signs all day, but bro, like DMV ain't paying us for this episode. So
Come on. So, with that being said, people, if you fail to address the elephant in the room, you are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it.
yes.
So get out of
yes.
your comfort zone, have those hard conversations, and start hour one, a positive hour one. So that 10,000th hour will look way better than hour one.
Than the first.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. What we got coming up? Got something coming up this week, right?
Yeah, man. We didn't talk about it on the last episode, but we got GalaxyCon Richmond happening tomorrow, actually. But by the
That's
time you
soon.
got,
Jesus.
uh-huh,
Tomorrow's Friday. Yep.
yeah. So it's a 3-day joint. Hopefully we got enough books to serve, man. I don't even know if we doing that. But yeah, man,
Another
we
Sunday.
we got GalaxyCon Richmond coming up tomorrow. And by the time you guys listen to this, we'll be 1 day removed from it. So it's not even not even relevant. But I should have talked about it last week and didn't for whatever reason. I just forgot about it because I'm not the details guy. I have a person for that, and whatever. Yeah. So yeah, that's all. That's all I got, man. Oh, actually, I just put the last word down into Outer World Book 1.
Hey,
Just put the last word down.
let's go.
So I'll be jumping into writing book 4 soon after, probably within the next few weeks.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, not a lot, but there is content for Morton's Castle streaming. Look, names, titles are all work in progress. Throwback Thursdays, we're doing Killer Instinct for the most part.
Ooh.
Killer Instinct is a real nostalgia driven game for me.
Yeah.
First played it on the Super Nintendo, the SNES. Older brother, neighbor, some guy that used to work at my dad's shop. I was a young kid at the time. I ain't know what I was doing. I was pushing buttons. But they always would hit the ultra on me. If you don't know what the ultra is, it is a move or moves, a set of moves that you can do when the character or your opponent has already died. His life points are gone, but for some reason this game specializes in letting you get hit after all your life points or your life bar is gone completely. And it's usually a set of like 40 to it's 35 to 40 hits. Anything after 35, you're in the ultra. And it's very humiliating combo, which for some reason made the grading even better. But yes, Killer Incidents on Throwback Thursdays. Slowly getting some more games to play, but Killer Incidents for the most part that one. So check it out. Yeah.
Dope, man. Dope. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Trump Podcast. We will see you guys on the next week. Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.
Comment, leave us a review, all that good stuff.